The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Let's see. We got all right. There's a new announcement about now. This is gonna be hard for you to believe, but basically, Wonder Woman, the title, will be announcing a new character in the Tom King era of Wonder Woman, which will introduce Diana's daughter, a brand new character that goes by the name Trinity. Trinity is a good name. I'm just gonna throw out there. I like that. I like the name. I think that's an interesting name for Wonder Woman's child. Remember like what Diana? There's some kind of what was this the plot behind Tom King's? There's some kind of ice analogy where the Amazons need to leave the country, and so Diana is a fugitive technically. But anyway, we're gonna look into the future, and we're gonna see Wonder Woman's daughter, and apparently they're going to actually have a spin-out series of this. So there was an announcement of sorts that we are getting an addition to the Wonder Woman family, and the part that's really striking to me is, I'm amazed they're actually choosing to add more characters to this title. I mean, this is a title that has no supporting cast whatsoever. There's certainly not a lot of characters running around with Wonder Woman names, mantles. So finally, they're adding one. I've been waiting for this as long as you have. Anyway, Trinity will make her debut in issue 800. It's a short story in that title, and it will serve as a prelude for the upcoming new series coming out in September. And it's created by Daniel Sampere and Tom King. It's unclear if Tom King is going to be writing the new series. That's unknown. But anyway, the character, that looks good. Costume looks okay and everything else. But it is it seems like just days ago, I was doing a video about how the superhero titles had big families in the books. So they just keep introducing more and more kind of members of this thing. And we're getting a new Wonder Woman. So anyway, a viewer writes in just kind of asking the same thing. Perch, hey there, Tom King's Wonder Woman era will introduce Diana's daughter. I'm not here to rant, to fight back, or whatever rage bait response Tom King is expecting. I can't believe there will be a girl Wonder Woman character. How dare they make a girl Wonder Woman? I don't know. I'm with you. What is the response? Exhaustion that there's another member of the Wonder Woman family, but I don't know. We'll see. Are people going to get outraged over this? Rage? I don't know how this will rise to the occasion of rage, but we'll see. I'm sure some people will figure that one out. It says, what Tom King is doing seems to be going forward with Jim Lee's mandate to get to Future State. If possible, Perchington, I'd just like to hear your thoughts on this one. I don't know about getting to Future State. I think, we already have Yara Flor, that Wonder Woman running around. So I don't think it's connected to that. I think it's in the future, Wonder Woman will have a kid. And so to me, it indicates that there's going to be a mystery in Tom King's run of basically who's going to bone Wonder Woman to get to this child. And is it going to be, Steve Trevor? Or is it going to be, Superman? Or is it going to be, who's going to be the guy who's going to, get with Diana and create this child? And so I think Tom King's going to use that as a subplot or, kind of a mystery to be uncovered in the book. And there'll be red herrings like, oh, Batman's been fooling around with her. I mean, who knows? But my feeling is and then, there may be some bullshit answer about Diana took some clay and shoved it up. No, but just, who knows where they're going to go with this. But to me, I think it's not really the future state aspect. I think it's a way to say in the distant future, there's this Wonder Woman character and her parentage. We know it's Wonder Woman's daughter, but who's the dad? And that gets to be something that the comic series teases out for, forever. So we'll see. Well, that's my guess as to what we're getting here. And it's just it's a way to kind of get a plot point. And that's why they're doing it. I have to believe that's the logic behind it, because otherwise, why not focus on one of the many Wonder Woman characters that we've got out there? I mean, we do have Donna Troy hanging around. We do have Yara Flor. We have Artemis. We've got a variety of Amazons that come in and out of the picture. We got Nubia. Like, at some point you have to go, hey, maybe we should could we make a Donna Troy series? Could we actually try that Yara Flor thing again? Like it feels like, no, let's just shoot out another character and see what happens. And before you know it, you've got, City of Diana, along with City of Bruce and City of Clark, and you just, everything is a family book. Again, not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to these characters, but it does get to be like how special is the mantle when everyone has the mantle. I think that's an issue. But I do like the name Trinity. The look of the character is fine. They've got her pants, which is fine. I mean, you wouldn't want your daughter having her ass hanging out there, would you? But anyway, she got 2 ropes. It looks like a little silver rope and a gold rope. She can tie you up twice as fast. But that's the news of the day. I don't look again. To me, it feels like what will be used as kind of a plot point gimmick to unearth the dad and how do we get to this future with the daughter, and that's where I think this goes. In terms of legacy, I do think the comic companies and DC in particular, because they're really bad about it, they need to start investing in some of the characters they've got and actually sticking with it, and maybe not try to do crazy ass versions of it. The Tim Drake Robin series was a bizarre comic in the sense that it really wanted to kind of focus on the relationship with Bernard, and it had a villain that was kind of weird, and he's a detective, but we're giving him a new status quo. He's living on like a houseboat, and you just like it defeats the purpose of Tim Drake. Like, hey, here's a pretty straightforward tale, no pun intended, of Tim Drake going, using his mind to solve mysteries. Or it feels like a lot of these series, they take the character, they gimmick it up with too much, random bullshit. So they can basically say, hey, we're doing something new and unique. And then, once they've done that, the title gets kind of unintelligible for readers to want to pick it up and read it. And then they're like, I have no idea why this thing failed. I never saw this coming. Why wouldn't this book work? And so, that's the challenge, I think, with this stuff. So, if we're going to do a limited series, cool. The Wonder Woman of Tomorrow, fine. I just think you've got to just, I mean, I'll say the same thing to this character that I said with Yara. Just tell relatively straightforward, no pun intended, stories about the character, discovering the mantle, going out, fighting a villain, saving the day, have some good heroic storytelling, and throw it out there, and don't try and do something weird. By the way, Marvel does. I'm not just picking out DC. Marvel does the same thing. It's like, hey, we want to make Captain Marvel a big deal. I know. Let's have her be the space police, and she's got a flying orbital space station, and she's leading Alpha Flight, except it's not canon anymore. These guys just wandering around a space station, even though, like, for half the team, that makes no fucking sense why they'd be up there in space anyway. They don't have powers that necessarily lend itself to it, and Carol is going to be the Global Defense Corps, and she's tired and drinking coffee, and we'll have some politics with Peter Grinch, and then I know, not Grinch, but anyway, you basically, like, you look at that and go, I mean, you got to hand it at least to Kelly Thompson, who at least made an attempt to have, Carol Danvers is fighting a villain, and then there'll be another villain, and then another villain, and we're not going to try to do anything super crazy with this title. We don't need a big concept. My advice to editors is stop looking for a big concept for a comic, and just the character is the big concept. You don't need to put them in space and figure out that their father is actually a gay alien, or that they have to compete in a blood ritual once every 50th blood moon in order to prevent there from being werewolves that come out at night and attack the city of Albuquerque, which is where we've got them living now, because who doesn't want to see Cyborg and Albuquerque fighting werewolves? Like, just tell a story that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't see this as a big deal. Certainly I don't know who's going to be outraged over this. I mean, I'm sure there'll be somebody. I mean, maybe we're going to find out that she's actually a man and she's a trans Wonder Woman. And the big mystery is, how did a man get sired on Amazon Island? And then because didn't want to be a man on, the Mascaria, she became a, I'm like, don't do something stupid. Just character comes out, no pun intended, fights real villains and call it a day. That's the thing. But maybe while you're at it, you want to throw some love to Artemis or Donna Troy or Nubia or Yara Floor or one of the other 8 billion characters that you've created already with this mantle. I mean, I understand you want to try and strike it rich by getting some royalties off the character, but all you're doing is just spraying clones of the character all over the place. No pun intended. Anyway, thanks for listening.